Hi, and welcome to Design It with Tammie Gibbs. I'm Tammie, and today I have a great video for you, and I hope it's going to help you a lot in growing your business. So, I've been hearing a lot of unrest in the Etsy community for digital products in the area where I live, basically, and listening to you creators, and you're a little bit disquieted, probably because of there have been some changes in Etsy. I'm not sure exactly what they are, but a lot of people are reporting that they are having slower sales, or maybe they're not getting as many views as they were. Things are getting a little bit mixed up. I know that they recently put out some suggestions for SEO, giving you suggested titles. They kind of changed up how they say that they're, I guess, doing the titles, and kind of the way they're moving the platform away from certain types of titles, where people were keyword stuffing and all of that sort of thing. And so, anyway, I thought it was appropriate for us to go in and have a little discussion and a little workshop today on um, what you can do to pivot when you have periods of time. This is not going to be the only time you ever run into this. Things in the world are very up in the air right now. There's a lot of things going on, both politically and economically. There's just a shift. There's a shift in the air. A lot of people can feel it. And we want to make sure that we are not left behind. So we have to implement things now rather than waiting, and need to shift our focus just a little bit. So I've done a few videos, and you can go back and watch those as well, kind of on this thread, because I do not want any of you sitting still. It's kind of like if you're on a boat in the middle of the ocean, and your engine gives out and you're like dead in the water. Either you can stay in the middle of the ocean, or, okay, let's just say it's not a big ship, it's a boat, just a regular little boat. And you're dead in the water, your motor doesn't work. So what do? Do you sit there and wait for help, or you have paddles in there? Can you start trying to paddle back to the land? I'm all about illustrations. I'm sorry. It's just kind of my way. But anyway, so this is the thing. If you are dead in the water, or you feel dead in the water, and this can come weekly, monthly, you can have slow days during any month, any given time. But the thing about being a small business that is so amazing is that we have the power to pivot so much easier than the big cruise ship. Think about being a big cruise ship out there in the middle of the ocean. And yes, you may have some dinghies, and some people may be able to jump ship and get somewhere. But otherwise, you have to call for help, because you can't get anywhere and get any momentum on your own because you're dead in the water. That's not the way your shop has to be. Most of us are smaller businesses, and because we are smaller, we can shift and we can pivot a lot easier than big corporations and big companies can. Big companies that have multiple stores all over everywhere, it takes, pardon uh, the reference, but it takes an act of Congress, which sometimes in Congress we don't get acts very quickly. But anyway, it takes an act of Congress to actually get anything implemented across all those stores and things. But when you are an Etsy seller, a smaller business, you can still be doing very well, excuse me, but you don't have to wait for things in order to change. And that's what we're going to talk about today, is pivoting. I'm going to be using the Artistly program. I'm going to be using Canva Pro. I am going to be using the Profitable Products Playbook. That's my newest playbook. I'm going to be using the Ultimate Themes Playbook, and I'm going to be using the AI the Digital Product Creators Playbook. So I'm going to be kind of referencing those today, and showing how those can work together to help you pivot. And we're going to be talking about you in particular and where your strengths are, and some of the things that you need to be thinking about. So, number one, let's just get our thinking caps on and let's talk about why we may want to pivot. Okay, so for instance, I do clip art. Okay, so within my store, and I'm just going to kind of show you here in my store, I have clip art that I sell. And so we're going to go and look at the clip art. Most of these are invitations, but here's the clip art pack. So this is a big percentage of my store. And then I also use my clip art to create really pretty invitations. This has worked well for me. I also have a creativity, this is called Plot Sparks. And just to show you, I used my clip art and I created this product, and it is basically like a game that you can do. It gamifies the creation of stories for like middle school and homeschool. So it gives them writing prompts in all these different areas, like you have the conflicts, the sentence starters, events, a wild card, settings, themes, character, objects. And what they can do is they can basically take this game, and when they're starting to write a story, they can pick a card, and this gives them all the different elements, and then they can go and write their story. So this was a very unique plot building game. So I created that. That was a diversification product because I have been a homeschool mom, and I know kind of what homeschool moms are looking for. I also have a best friend who is I have a couple of friends that are teachers, but I have a best friend that is a teacher, and she teaches middle school, and she teaches language arts and all of that. And so I was kind of inspired by her to create that product. So that's just a creativity, and that's the way that I have actually um, been able to diversify some of my products in my store. So let's go back and look at some of the other things. Some of the other things that I have done is with my invitations, I've had in the past, some people ask me for the element, like this element and then this element, because they wanted to create some other things with that character for their party, specifically like for doing t-shirts or something like that for the birthday person. So in some cases, I have done a couple of those as I've had requests, and I probably will get around to doing some other of those. Okay, well, most everybody knows me for my playbooks. So my playbooks are a totally different thing. They are so helpful. I do have them on sale. You can see that I have them on sale. Um, I am an author, and so this was a product that I have created. This is a research tool. It's research and also world building. It has basically fashion, manners and customs, food, weapons, funerals, architectural styles. So I was leaning on, when I created this product, I was leaning on my expertise as a published author and my process to do research. And so I created a product that now has all of these elements that have all the things that they need to create their backstories and create their books. The use of it just saves a ton of research time, and it is specifically geared for the types of information that authors need to write historical fiction. Just I'm probably going to do a video on this for any of you that may happen to be in that niche, because this is great. So this is a much more expensive flagship product in my shop. It's over 1,000 pages, so it's huge. You can print it out, put it in these. I've put it in notebooks, and you can flip through, and it just has every element you could possibly think of. And so it just saves a ton of research and gives you, for instance, one of the cool things about this, and this is kind of neither here nor there with what we're doing, but just showing you the depth of what, when I did create this product, did. And when they sell, I'm rewarded more. It did take a little bit of time, but this is a flagship product for my store. It also gives me a way, a single element, a single product that I can go out and promote in a bigger way than I can a single clip art package. If that helps you understand the differences there in the type of product. So this particular one, for instance, it has information in there through, like for food and stuff, for different time periods, like all the way through from the beginning of time all the way through to current times. Okay, so let's just say you're writing and plotting a story, and you wanted to mention in your story that the main character loved a recipe that was passed down from her great grandmother. You could literally go back in and you could flip to the time period when the great grandmother would have lived, and you can get ideas on how to frame that recipe or that uh, dish that you want to include in your book. So that's the kind of depth that you can do. And you're not constantly even going into chat, which I do use AI when I put together a lot of this stuff to help me with my research, to help me frame things. But the concept is always human created, or from my imagination and from my knowledge base. And I think that's important when we use these tools, to use them, but use them based on our knowledge base and based on what we know. And then that way it gives us a much deeper product. It gives us something that is more usable to other humans like us. We're not selling to machines, so we need that element of human uh, contribution, I guess you could say, for anything. But even if you wanted to go in and research, just doing AI research or Google or whatever, it would take you literally months to create this. And so that is where we as creators still have a job, is to still make things even easier. Because if we can have references that we can refer to, then it allows us to offer products that meet those needs in a better way. Okay, so anyway, so this was one of the tools that I have. And then let's go here. And I'm just going to show you, here's all of my clip art, which is great. But clip art is one of those things that's very difficult to go out and promote on a one-by-one basis. Doesn't mean you can't have your clip art and advertise it into Pinterest and all those kind of things. But if you are doing just invitations or just printables or just, these other things, look to see how you can use your products, your clip art, your templates that you've created for different things, different products, and turn them into things that are going to pivot you into different potential markets. So anyway, so here you can see some of the different product mix that I have. But anyway, so we're going to be talking today about how you can pivot. So let's talk about some of the ways that I like to tell creators or show creators how they can use their own personal experiences, your occupations, your passions or hobbies, And that's what you want to do is you want to go in and you want to write a list of all of those things. I call them the connectors. These are the things that connect us to our potential buyers. So we are wanting to look at the ways that we can connect with them on a personal level, either from our occupation, from our um, experiences. Let's just say, if you've lost a parent, then that gives you a special connect with other people who have lost parents and maybe looking for products in that arena. If you have a special needs child, that gives you a special insight to be able to communicate and create products for that segment. If you are a school teacher, a homeschool mom, if you have been involved in sports like Little League and stuff, that gives you a special connection with your potential buyers. And it gives you a unique position with which to create products for those segments. And your products are going to be very genuine. Kind of one of the things that I find a lot of times is people trying to fit a round peg in a square, let's see, um, a round a square peg in a round hole. There we go. Anyway, trying to make something fit when they probably could fall back on their own personal experiences and create products that ring true and give them a little bit more that they can go out. If you don't know anything about anything, I always say I can talk just forever about something I know and I feel confident about. I have spoken in front of groups of, 1,000 people at conferences before. But it was always speaking on a topic that I knew thoroughly, that I believed in, that I was passionate about. Now, get me in a room of 5 people and put me in front of them, and I'm trying to talk about something I'm not sold on, and I'm going to be like the most, I guess, unpassionate speaker you're ever going to see. That's just me. I can do all sorts of things if I believe in something. But when you don't believe in something yourself, if you've never used it, if you don't have some sort of connection with it, now your connection could simply be art. And that is enough of a reason to do invitations or clip art or all these other things. You're artistic, and that is your connection. But you have to be able to connect also with that buyer in a certain way to elevate your potential for success. So think about ways that you can use your art and use it in ways that connect with audiences that you're already familiar with. So use that as your secret weapon, I guess you could say, or secret weapon is sort of not a great description, but your secret sauce, something that you have that the majority of other folks don't have. And because Etsy's ecosystem and other platforms ecosystems are now becoming somewhat crowded, or they keep changing things on us, and once we figure something out, they're changing it on us, and that gives us um, a reason why we need to go outside the Etsy ecosystem, and we need to start looking for ways to get our products in front of other people without having to pay a lot in advertising fees. Once you get established enough and you've got a product that is a proven product, you're already selling a lot of them, then going and adding advertising on a proven product is a better bet than advertising an unproven product. So you don't really want to go out and do advertising, this is my opinion, on a product that is unproven, that you don't get views on anyway, that when you do get views, they're not selling. Don't advertise a non-selling product. advertise products that have already run through testing, that people have already approved with their purchase. And then your potential to reach more people that would be interested, the statistics are better that that ad is going to pay for itself, and more than pay for itself, help you to grow. So that's my little soapbox on ads. But anyway, so what we want to do today, and I'm trying not to be super long with this, but I want to start at the beginning and show you how I took this morning when I was getting ready for the video, and I determined that I was going to basically look at everything through the lens of being a homeschool mom in the past, having been a also being a current grandmother to twins that are they're about 5.5 now, and one of and then a little grandson that is going to be 3 in January. So having 3 little grandsons and creating a product for homeschool moms, public school moms, any moms that have children between the ages of 5 and 7 this morning. Well, that's my key. You could use it with younger kids or older kids. You would change up your art and stuff. But anyway, so I went in and let me just go into the playbooks that we're going to be using today. My latest one is the Profitable Products Playbook, and you can go up here and you can search through this. You can go teacher, and then it's going to give you like the teacher resource packs. It's also going to give you, you can click through where it says teachers and just kind of click through, and inspiration packs, decorating, all these different, you can kind of click through like that. This is target audiences, but then so this is going to give us lots of different ideas, and I'm just kind of flipping through to show you how much material just by doing educational and learning playbook worksheets and stuff. And then, see, this is use cases and buyers, all these different people that you actually could sell these different things to. And so let's talk about where we would promote these. If you get some things for teachers or for homeschool moms, you can join homeschool groups because you can talk to them and you can actually help them with your past experiences or current experiences. So that is a natural pond for you to play in if you have teacher products. Now, that does not mean that you want to go and you want to meet with these people by spamming them. You want to work within the groups, like if they have a place for you to put your shop name, or if they have a promotion day, or somebody asks for something. You can always provide a free resource when they're asking for something on a regular basis. You can also get a lot of good market research. When you go into these groups, you can see currently what the need is. If they're going, does anybody know where I can find one of these? That's the key, being creative. So anyway, so I went in and I just kind of browsed around, and I'm just showing you now just how much information there is. This is not how I browsed. But anyway, so basically I found the punch cards. So we're just going to pop down here. And so teachers or homeschoolers for behavior or task rewards. So this is kind of what I started here and just kind of flipped through, and I landed here and decided I was in a perfect position to create some of these little cards. And my idea is I will create a whole pack. So I'm not trying to sell just one design. I'm going to do like a whole different pack so that they can use them for different activities. And so then, you can go in and decide kind of what themes and everything that you want to use to create the cards with. These also have great ideas for different product variations as well. And so anyway, we could go and we can look through, our various different themes to get ideas on the artwork and stuff like that. Like if we wanted to do rainbow and pastels, or we wanted to do, we're doing for kids. So if we wanted to do, let's see where the kids stuff is. Any of the birthday themes, you could get ideas for the art. Like it could be dinosaurs, it could be mermaids, or farm and barnyard would be really cute. And kind of what the variations, and let me just show you what I created. And I went into Artistly, and let me just show you that I went in and created a star with a happy face. And then in Artistly, I did this under the, I want to say it was the AI Illustrator clip art, and it made a really cute little star. Let me show you where I went in. And I have created this cute little punch card using the art from Artistly. It was super simple to go in and do that. And then I just laid it like this. So now what I have is I can take and duplicate this card. And then I don't have to start over. I already have this part here. All I have to do is change this, the background and such. So now what I want to do is walk you through how I can create another one. And I'm going to use, I'm not going to go in ChatGPT. I'm just going to go into, let's see, Copilot, which I don't use a lot. Okay, so give me 5 different sayings or captions to go with my kids' reward punch cards. See, I like this. Earn it, punch it, rock it. Punch your way to a prize. Okay, so let's do sayings that match a dinosaur theme. Oops. Oh, I like that. You're stomping. Roar some job. Keep earning those punches. Okay, I like this one, so we're going to grab this one. So we are going to copy it, go back here. We're going to remove this background. Okay. Whoops. Let's go back. Let's do this. Let's fill it in first. So let's change this out. And for some reason, this is not, I think it's right here. Okay. Let's go back to Copilot and let's back over here, and we're going to paste rules from job. Let's make it white so it shows up for now. We're going to take these away. So rules from job, keep earning those punches. I get a punch when I... Okay, so give me an idea for the punch symbols for the dinosaur theme. Dino footprints, claw marks, fossil imprints, a dino egg. Okay, so let's choose the foot marks. So let's go back over here into... Now, this is not when I'm going to be doing super prompting. This is a super simple thing, and it doesn't need to be complicated. So what we're going to do is we're going to go in, and we're just going to say a dinosaur footprint image. And we don't need it with a smile. And we just need to make that. There we go. That's pretty cool. We're going to take that now, and we're going to put it in here. I'm going to upload it. Or let's see. Let's make sure that that is, because that, I'm not sure if that looks like a dinosaur or not. Let's try the fossil imprint. Where are we at? So a fossil print. We always want to make sure that we're putting the right thing. That to me does not speak dinosaur print. So it may be, but it's... Let's see if we can get something even more recognizable. Now that's not a fossil imprint, so let's regenerate a cute dino inspired fossil imprint. Isolated against a white background. Okay, well, we've got a cute little dinosaur, so we can use him. Let's see. Go ahead and do him. I'm going to remove the background. I'm just doing it inside Canva Pro because it's one image, and often it's just simpler to do that. There we go. So we're going to flip it. Okay. And going to have our... We're going to take these and move them out because they're not what we're going to be doing. So we're going to do this. And then we're going to create a background. See what this comes up with. And then we'll go back to what does a dino footprint look like? That's what I thought. This is what we're looking for. So we'll go back in and we will get that. Okay, this is cute. Okay, download it. And we may eliminate that and just use this one because this one is really cute. And we can put the things at the top. This we can turn into color. Okay. I'm going to put this all the way to the back. Okay, so there we've got that. And we're going to move him out of the way. And we're going to move our dinosaurs. We're going to kind of move our dinosaurs. So let me show you how we can do that. This is the cool thing this is another cool thing you can do inside of Canva Pro, and it just really helps to use your whoops, it said to do it again. So let's do it again. Okay. There we go. Okay. So now we can move our dinosaurs and put them in different places. What I'm going to do is I'm going to duplicate this so that I can separate them. This one's going to be here. And then we can put that one there, put that one there for the time being. We're going to take this and okay. Okay. This we're going to change the color. Get a punch one eye. We're going to move this, get this star out of the way. Move those stars. Okay, there we go. So we can move that. I get a punch one eye. And then roar some. Let's move this out a little bit. And this out a little bit. So we can read all that. So that's really cool. And then these we're going to take and we're going to put them right here. Like that. Which I think is super cute. And here we're going to do like that. How cute is that? So cute. And now we've got to do our little, put our little punchies across here. And we're going to up this a little bit so that we can, there we go. No, we want that in there. Okay, so that's really cute. Whoops. Moved everything. Okay. There we go. How cool is that? Isn't that cool? Let's put a little bit more of the dinosaur in. There we go. And now right across the bottom, we're going to put the little, okay, so we want, it says a 3-toed shape. So let's say a T-Rex 3-toe footprint image. Let's see what we get. We get what we're looking for. I think it confuses it because it's not really a footprint. It's more like a toe print. So that is not it either. So let's go to a different generator and see if it can do it. Let's see. Let's go here to minimalistic and see if it'll do it. And then we can actually that's not going to do it. It's just not understanding it. So let me try it this way. Let me try to enhance it to see if what it's going to give me in Artistly. There we go. 3 distinct toes visible. So sometimes you do have to expand just a little bit. I'm just in the video, don't have time to do it on my own. So let's see if this will be what we needed. Okay, that's a perfect little, that is a fossil. It's a fossil now. It doesn't to me look exactly like what we would need, but a fossil is fine. Okay, so that's what we were wanting, was a fossil. So now what we're going to do is we're going to upload the fossil. And we're going to, that will be where they punch. It's the fossil. So I'm going to remove the background. And we just have these little fossil shapes here. We're going to do 7 so that it's, I did the other one with 7 so that they could okay. Okay, and then what we're going to do is I'm going to connect them and group them, and then I'm going to move them and center them like that. And we can actually make them a little bit smaller so that they don't cover up the... So there. I'm not going to spend any more time. I would probably look to get a different track. This is for like a different one, like a Triceratops, I think. But anyway, it works for what we're doing. Isn't that cute? And it's kind of, you can play with your how you're going to do it. So anyway, that's how you can do, and I would probably do like several different types, and I like leaving it blank so they can fill in what they are, the task and also the reward, but then you can sell the whole pack. You could also make it into a different type of thing. Like you could do a reward poster, So I could basically take this and I could take it and go over here, and we could do the whole resize page thing. We can duplicate the page, and then we can go in and do the resize page, and we could choose an 8.5 by 11. We could use the same basic theme. Okay, so there we go. And we could just basically pull it up like this. We wouldn't necessarily want these little punch things because we're not doing punches, but what we could do is if they have to let's just say this is going to be when that I get a punch one eye, backwards, oops, forward, and then put this here, put the reward they're working towards, and then you could also go in and put, to earn my reward, I have to have 30 punches, or I have to have 3 weeks of punches with like what they have to do. And down here you could have dinosaurs, and you could have a little, since it says 3 weeks, you would set up a sort of like a little chart. And merge. Let's go back. Okay. And put week 1. And let's just make that bigger. Week 2. So this can show you how you can literally just take, and I'm not even going to finish this up. You can take, and then you could put more instructions down here. You could put, well, you could actually lower all this down, and across the top, I'd probably put something else. Maybe even drag this down in to earn my reward, and then have a place that they can maybe eliminate this whole right here column so that you would just do a check mark or something when you filled one of your cards or whatever. But anyway, so this is basically sort of my concept of how I'll be putting this package together to allow various different ones. I believe in value. If you've watched or if you have bought any of my playbooks, you know I try to over deliver and make sure that I am delivering the absolute best um, value for your money when you purchase one of those. And I do the same with these other products. I want to create something that people feel confident when they buy it, that they're going to get their money's worth. May take me a few extra minutes, an extra 30 minutes or something to create it initially, but I know that if they sell on an ongoing basis, I'm going to recover my time many, many times over in profit. So that's just kind of how I do it. And so this is how, you would basically walk through, and then you would go to the Digital Product Creators Playbook and get lots and lots of ideas on how to go in and market that. I've already given you a few ideas, but that's kind of the system that you could do. It gives you something somewhere that's not a blank page to go in, and now that you know to be looking, that's your criteria, the things you need to know, and the lens you need to be looking at products and your marketing through are, your occupation, your passions and hobbies, your personal experiences, whether you're dealing with an elderly parent, whether you're dealing with, like I said, a special needs child, whether you have, some of us have had several occupations. I do real estate. I had a balloon and gift basket business. I've published multiple magazines. I'm a published author. I have lots of personal experience and things that I know about. So I can market potentially to all of those segments and be knowledgeable in both the products and presentation that I would use when marketing those products. So this is just a different way to look at it. A lot of times people jump off into digital products into an ocean and a sea of unknowns. They've never done it before, and that is fine. If you're coming here from that, I think that is amazing because none of us ever learn until we learn. So, picking out a niche of learning how to do invitations or learning how to do clip art, learning how to do all these different things that we've never done before is not a there's nothing wrong with that. It's amazing. And you can learn and you can teach yourself how to do these things if you have the will to do it. And that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that once you get your skills in check, sometimes you may have skills you're overlooking that you're not taking the best advantage of when it comes to doing your products, finding your market, and all of those things. So be sure and look at those aspects when you're trying to decide products that you want to put out there. Another thing that is really good is, hey, you've been doing a listing a day, posting it on Etsy. You've got your store built up now. Now concentrate on putting out a product that's going to be bigger than what you already have, that's going to reach an audience in a way that you're not reaching now. And look for those flagship products. The Profitable Product Playbook has lots of information about flagship products and helping you understand what those are. Basically, for me, my flagship product is my playbooks because they pull in the most traffic. And it is different. It's something that I did, I didn't do those playbooks because everybody else had them. I went and found a product that was underserved and nobody was doing. And that's where I'm comfortable in finding uniqueness. It's finding something that is filling a need that nobody else is filling. And it has been really, really good for me. And so that is my flagship product now. It has overtook my store. And while I still sell invitations weekly, I still sell clip art weekly, all these other things weekly. The playbooks bring a lot of traffic in that then help to sell all of the other products because people come in and see other items that they like as well and come back and buy those too. So it's a win-win scenario. So I hope that you've really enjoyed this video and that you'll check out the Profitable Products Playbook that just came out, the Ultimate Themes Playbook, which is awesome. Profitable Products Playbook is over 600 pages, and the Ultimate Themes Playbook is over 700 pages. And then, of course, the one that's going to help you get out there and start actually selling and not sitting in the ocean. Pick up those oars or the paddles for your boat and start trying to get some momentum and get movement again. That is just so important, not to sit there, pivot and you may find something you're even better at. I started out with the clip art, and then I went to invitations, and then after being involved in digital products, I found that my background in writing and doing nonfiction books and all that kind of thing, and just all these other experiences that I had, made me the perfect person to put together the playbook series. And it started with one playbook, and then now there are like 7 playbooks, I think it is 6 or 7 playbooks. Anyway, there's a lot of them. And so it kept, because there was a need for it. Okay. And so that's what you need to do, is go out and find the need for what you can present better than anyone else. And then spend some time developing that. Think about it, think bigger. Think bigger than your single little $4 or $5 products, and think about things that add enough value that people will trust you to purchase them. And then, like I said, the Digital Products Playbook on visibility is an excellent place to start creating that visibility that's going to help sell all your products. Because if your products and your store is really good, all that is keeping you from success is getting it in front of more people. Because it doesn't, if you have 100 people that look at that see your products, there are statistics that say that sometimes you have to see something like 3 times before you consider purchasing it or something like that. That's why commercials are played over and over and over again repetitively. But those are the things you need to know so that you can succeed. And again, I hope you have enjoyed this video. You saw how we quickly were able to put up and grab onto a concept from the Profitable Products Playbook by using the strategy of going back into my history, into the homeschool of being a grandmother, because see, grandmas can use those too, and those can be marketed for grandparents. You can even, and I probably will, put a little thing together that will give them different ideas on what tasks they could reward, like what the kids have to do. I did one recently, and I will probably put this in my shop. I did one on kindness. And every time that I saw my grandchildren, which were 4 at the time, I was having trouble with them fighting with each other because they're twins. And so what I did was I gave them a rewards card, and basically they got a sticker. So you can do that too. You can, give stickers and have them do that, or you can just punch them, punch the little things. These are punch cards. So you could do it either way. You could do it as a sticker based thing, or you could do a reward system, or you could do the punch cards. But what I did was I told them, I said, every time I see that you are being kind, then you're going to earn a sticker. And I had little cards made up with their names on them. And, that's another thing that I can go in and add is a place where, if you have multiple kids, there should be a place on there somewhere where they put their name. So I'll go back in and add that on mine. Again, that was a product I was trying to just show you that can work up fairly quickly and how that whole process works. So be sure and check out the playbooks, and check out my shop on Gumroad and on Etsy. Um, the junk journal playbook is only available on Gumroad because of the EU stuff. But anyway, so if you're in the EU, purchase through Gumroad. And if you have a choice, then you can choose Gumroad or Etsy. If you purchase on Gumroad, be sure and use it's Summer 50 for the playbooks, except for the themes playbook, and that one is launch 70, or the current coupon codes. Now, I don't know when you're going to be watching this, and if it's a couple years down the road or something, those coupon codes probably won't work. But right now, you can try them. And all of my links are down in the description. If you're interested in Artistly, I'd love for you to use my link down in the description. And I have support groups. Please sign up for my Creative Dispatch newsletter. I have included and I'm going to have information on all sorts of things in the newsletter. I took a little break for a while, but now I'm going to have a new version coming out this week. And so we cover everything. We cover prompting and art. We cover all sorts of digital product topics, from creation to marketing. So that's a free newsletter. It's once a week, typically. And then, so the link to that to sign up is down in the description as well. And then, of course, you're going to want to belong to my Facebook group, because that's a way daily that you can get inspiration and you can get my help. So that is also in the description. Have a great day and happy creating, and I'll see you next time.